Hey there. How's everybody doing
Hello.
tonight? Welcome, welcome. Hey Leslie, how you doing?
I feel like I'm in your studio,
I feel like I'm in my studio too.
right? Not all the way over in Oregon.
Well, it's just as cold anyway. So do you want to let
It
everybody know
is.
what's going on?
Yeah, I'd love to. Oh my goodness. And I have like a random little weird that's it's live.
You look
Well,
adorable.
thank you. It's been a day. My name is Leslie, and you guys might, if you are watching on, well, I guess we should mention there's multiple platforms that are streaming tonight. So
Yeah.
most of my ladies are used to me going live right now here in Oregon for my What's New Wednesday. And we're switching it up tonight, and we have Angie with us. So Angie is with LDRS Creative, and I'm Leslie, the owner at Cobblestone Creek Studios. I have a little tiny scrapbooking store. I know it's almost unheard of to have a physical brick and mortar store anymore, but I have a little scrapbooking store here in Oregon, out in the middle of nowhere, I feel like. But I am so thrilled to carry Angie's products. Angie and I have worked together for a while in more than one aspect. I used to be a sales rep with her, representing her brand to lots and lots of stores across the United States. And now I'm so excited because I get to personally carry Angie's products in my physical store here in Oregon. I
Yay.
know.
So, to those of you that don't know me, I'm Angie. I'm the one she's been talking about.
Yes.
So I am the owner of LDRS Creative. We are actually based in Michigan, so we are completely across the country. But it is just as cold here, I think, as it is where you are. But we're super excited to be here. So yeah, we are actually streaming to the Cobblestone Creek Facebook page, to the LDRS Creative Facebook page, as well as the LDRS Creative YouTube channel. And want to give a shout out. I can see comments. I can see people coming in. So it's so nice to have some people showing up here tonight. I just want to give a little shout out to Linda Higgins is here. Kelly Welch is here. Becky White is here tonight, and Melissa Woolsey. I'd love to know like where you guys are located. Beverly Root is here, and Mary Frick. Oh, from snowy Florida.
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
know about
Oh,
that one. Doesn't that sound kind of like an oxymoron? That doesn't sound like,
yes.
does that actually happen? Snowy Florida. Honey, you ain't seen snow yet.
Right. Well, we are lucky. We're about 20 degrees now, but no snow. Thank goodness.
Oh, well, we've been like 0 degrees for a couple of days now. And oh,
You can keep
minus actually. Yeah,
that. You
minus.
can keep that.
Oh, and we've got who else is coming in? Aaron Brockway Collins is coming in from Washington. Linda Higgins is in San Fernando Valley. And Kelly Welch is in Portland. Brenda Sawyer is in from snowy South Carolina. Wow, it sounds like everybody's got all this snow right now.
Right?
Well, we are Oh, and who else? More people are popping in, so this is great. Marlene Pol Polbrabeck. I am so sorry if I'm slaughtering that. From North Dakota. And Melissa Woolsey is only 4 miles from you at Cobblestone Creek.
She
Well,
is.
I want to tell everybody what's going on tonight. So we're super excited. We did this once before, and it was just so much fun that we decided to do it again. Leslie and I are actually going to be crafting side by side. We're going to be using some of our new crafty goodies from our newest All Occasions collection that was released back in December, and it's got all kinds of stuff for spring, for for love, for literally all occasions, so it's pretty cool. We have more comments coming in. So Becky White, it says 13 here in Kentucky, not snowing but still have lots of snow in my yard. Don Don and Peggy Miller says, yeah, I made it for the live. Welcome, so happy to see you here. Lynn Tennant is here. Barbara Cohn is showing up from snowy South Carolina. Agnes Margaret from Texas. We've got a we've got a lot of people showing up tonight, so thank you so much. Yay!
It's like having all my friends and all of your friends all
Yes,
crafting
it's
together, but online. How
exactly. It's
fun.
wonderful. I love it. It's a wonderful, if you have, some of these products already, if you got your bundle from Leslie, then, you guys can craft along. Super excited. And if you don't already have yours, know that there are still some available, I think, right, at
Yes.
Cobblestone?
Yes. We have the
Okay.
bundle still available. Most of my ladies that are here local bought the product immediately, so they didn't need the bundle.
Do you
But
want to put your
lots
website up or a link to your bundles or anything?
yeah, I'll link it here in just a second. I have to grab my computer off to the side. But I will link the bundle. So the bundle will include some of the product that we're using, and then I cut paper down for everyone so you have the exact same colors
Okay.
for all 4 cards. That's crazy to think we're making 4 cards,
Yeah,
two
I
for
know.
you,
We're
two for
making
me.
4 cards. Hey, actually, you know what, Leslie? I think Linnea is here. She's my assistant. If she's on here, do you mind if she links them? They're on your
For sure.
store, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
okay. So yeah, Linnea, if you are here, crossing my fingers.
Yes.
All right. Will you do me a favor and will you go out to the Cobblestone Creek website, please, and get a link up so everybody knows where they can get the bundles? Okay.
Oh, I just saw
So
her pop in there. So yeah, she's on there.
awesome. Awesome. So I'm thinking, if and you don't mind, shall we do some collaging first?
I think that that would be fun. It was hard when I was working on my samples of like, I kept wanting to bounce back and forth because I wanted to work on both cards at the same time, but the collaging was a lot of fun.
It is fun. It's one of those things where I think the first thing people say is, first of all, I don't really know what that is. And a second is they get intimidated because it looks like it's complex when it is actually the easiest stamping you will ever do because there's no way you can go wrong. There's no way to make a mistake because it,
Exactly.
it
And I,
doesn't
I
have to
tell
be
the ladies
perfect.
the same thing. I know we did collaging with our fall and winter that we did
Hmm.
with our last live, and a lot of people were like, I didn't. It was kind of freeing to not have any
Yeah.
rules. So I love it. So I think
Yeah.
that that's a great idea.
Do you want to tell everybody what's in your bundle?
Yeah, so the bundles, and I don't have one sitting right next to me. I should have grabbed one. But the bundle is going to include basically what we're using tonight. I tried to keep rein it in and not go off the wall and grab everything.
Why don't
But
you
we
know what? Do
have
me a favor. You tell me, Alan, do you want to go overhead with the camera? And as Leslie, can you overhead? Okay. And then as Leslie kind of shouts out what is in each bundle or what's in the bundle. Is it one bundle or two bundles? I'm not even sure.
it's it's just the one bundle.
Okay, so what is in the bundle? This is
So
my
our
hand. Here's my other hand. Look at, I
sorry, I'm
have a
grabbing it on
pair of
my
hands.
computer. So we tried to keep it without, including basically the entire release because it could have
Right.
been really easy to just say one of everything. Um, but let me grab it. I'm pulling it up on my computer real quick. So what we included first and foremost is going to be the brand new nested postage collage dies.
Okay,
Whoops,
so let me
over
grab
here.
that one. That's right here.
There you go. Yes. And then the the two main items that we're using tonight, everything else, we gave you a sampling that we kind of cut down for you, but it also is going to include the Here Comes the Sun postage collage stamps.
Right here.
And because we're just hoping for a little bit of sunshine and warm weather, the postage collage Here Comes the Sun layering stencils.
Okay, so these are the 3 items in the bundle.
Those are the 3 items that come in the bundle. And then, of course, you get a little bit of sampling of some of the items that are going to be cut down because you and I kind of went a little crazy and added extras. So we're using
Yes.
some other things. So you'll get a sampling of paper cut down using the nested, the mixed scallop rectangle dies. That's going to be an awesome one. If you haven't picked it up, this is a good one. This is not from this last release,
Correct.
correct?
Correct.
So that was an older one, but it was too good not to use. So we had to use that
That
one. Um,
that's one that actually I'm trying to remember. Yeah, this one I think was from
from last
the was it I think that
summer.
was in the Good Cheer. Yeah, that was in the Good Cheer collection. So, but this is one of those staples. It's a go-to. You're going to grab that all the time. So we
Yes,
did
we
pull
played
in
with this
that.
at our trade show in Vegas, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
So we had to include that one. So, and then of course, these are not going to be included, but they are available. We still have them in stock. You and I are going to be playing with some other stamps. So this is not in the bundle, but if you're grabbing product to play with tonight that you might already have, we're using some of the Ledger stamps. I'm using Ledger
Oh,
too.
I need you to grab
I
my
think,
ledger stamp. I forgot that one. Sorry.
whoops. You're using Ledger 1, right?
I'm using ledger one. Alan, they're over there. Um, he doesn't
We
actually
all
pay
need an
attention.
Allen.
Bottom
We
drawer.
all need an Allen.
Right in there. No, wait a minute. Sorry. Second, middle drawer. Nope, to your right. Yep, middle drawer. Right in front of you is no, nope, right there. That one right there. He goes ahead real quick. So I've got the snail mail here. This is what he was
Yes.
looking for. This is how I
Yes.
keep all of my ledgers right
Oh
here.
gosh.
So
So I'm using Ledger 2. You're using Ledger 1 because we couldn't do
correct.
the same one.
Yeah,
Of
this
course,
one, so if anybody's wondering, this is what Ledger 1 looks like. You can see mine are very well loved. This is what Ledger 1 looks like, and this one is Ledger 2 right here. Yeah, it would
so
go,
similar,
I have it
but a
backwards.
little bit different.
Yeah,
And
and it
then,
doesn't really matter which one you use. You can do so much with them. And then I've got
well,
snail mail,
yes, snail mail is the next one. Love this one so much.
and
And
then also
then,
brought in some seals from the sealed wood
yeah,
kit.
just for good measure, we just threw those in because why not?
Because why not? Yes. And it's
Why
really
not?
fun. The great thing with both of the cards that we're going to be doing, whether you're doing a postage collage or a stacking collage, you can literally grab from all of your collaging. So like all of these products here, well, minus the dies, but all of these products, these are all a part of our stacking collage product line. And everything is sized similarly. You have a whole mix of fonts, mix of styles, mix of themes that can all be mixed and matched. So every time you just buy one of these stamp sets and add it to your collection, you've magnified what you can do again. You've just kind of, there's so much more now that you can do because you have another 30 stamps that you can put into that mix. So that's why we've
Exactly.
designed them the way that we do, so that you can really do a tremendous amount with them. So to get started, we're going to start with the stacking collage, right? That's what we decided.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to
So,
switch my camera. So if you don't
yep.
mind,
No,
that way
go
everyone
ahead.
doesn't have to watch the mess, the mess
Yep,
that
go
shall
ahead.
be.
And Alan, if you will do me a favor, please, and zoom in for me. And I'm going to show everybody. I'm not going to show you. I do have my little sample card up here to the side. I'm not going to show you what I'm making yet. Of course, you probably saw in our little advertisement kind of what we're making, but that's okay. Um, I'm going to start off with my ledger. So, two things that I like to have when I do collaging, stacking collage. You can do everything, first of all, just with a stamping block. You do not have to have a any kind of stamping platform. The really cool and wonderful thing about stacking collage is that it's not perfect, and having kind of a distressed look works with this technique. So a distressed look can simply be uneven stamping. So if if you've inked up and you've stamped and it hasn't come out perfect, it does not matter. Okay, so you're with me, you're back here?
I think I'm ready. I think so, hopefully.
Okay, let's bring you in. There you go. Can you see the split screen?
I think it's a little bit delayed, but I
You are
think.
upside down.
Oh no! Darn it!
All right, hold on. Let me move that so you can switch things.
Okay, let's see if it'll.
Okay, so here's my ledger. I actually need to, I'm realizing I don't have very much stickiness. So here's just a little tip then. If your stamps are not as sticky anymore, you can just kind of rinse that off with some water. Just plain water, and you'll get that stickiness back again.
Okay, let's see
Okay,
here.
Leslie's trying to write her screen.
This is
Now
such
you
a mess.
could, If you want, you could stamp upside down.
Let's see here. I think I can. Does that
I think
work?
I can. I think I can.
Oh, I
That
don't
looks
know.
better. I think.
Okay.
Let me bring you in. I think that looks right. It looks, yeah,
I
that's
just
better.
rotated. Okay.
That works. Yep. And you know what looks strange
Technology
is
is not my
no, but you know what
forte.
looks weird is we're both using the Lux magnetic glass mat, except like mine is zoomed in a little bit more than yours, so our lines don't match up right. It looks kind of strange. Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're right. It does.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just start. I'm just going to kind of start crafting here and stamping. I'm going to ink up. So I'm going to start. I'm doing all of mine with our hybrid inks. Just a really quick explanation of what a hybrid ink is, because we still get a lot of questions about it. Oh, we've had more people show up, by the way. We have hello to Shelly Parker, Aaron Heath, Teresa Jarvis is in tonight. Joanne Beckerman is here. Welcome, 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 everybody. So a quick little thing about a hybrid ink. A hybrid ink is a combination ink. So it shares properties. It has a combination of properties, both of a dye and a pigment ink. So and it really kind of has like the best of both worlds, which is really nice. And because of that, it's really kind of like your go-to ink. Like you don't have to think about, am I using Copics or am I going to watercolor? Am I stamping on paper? Am I stamping on, a fabric, or am I stamping on a glossy surface? What am I doing? And then grabbing the ink that you need to go with that. You can just use your hybrid inks. That's what's so wonderful about it, is it's kind of an all-purpose, all-surface mix of medias, if you will, ink. So it's just awesome. Hello to Joy, and Mary has just come in too. Hello, Mary. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with alloy. So I do like to do my collage ledger. That's kind of like a starting point. It's a really, really nice starting point. It makes it really easy to kind of give you a little bit of a boundary. And it kind of says, this is like my little bit of a frame. But I typically do it in a lighter color just so it kind of gets pushed into the background. So as you can see, I've got it here in just a really light gray. That's the alloy. I'm going to give this a quick wipe. Now, that's not to say that you can't do it darker. You can. You can do it however you want. It's your project. All right. So that one, I'm going to go ahead and place that. And then put this away. You can see how mine are all stained and used. It's wonderful.
And I'm starting off with alloy as well. So that I always tell ladies when they come in and they see all your colors sitting up front, because we have them up with our letter pressing system, which they work beautifully for, that there are some main ones that I always start off with. And alloy is usually the first that I recommend, and then Raven. So definitely those two are like go-to ink colors for sure.
Yeah, I think they're just what's nice is they're kind of universal. They're not really colors. They're like tones, so they go with everything, which is nice. A
Right.
gray and the black go with absolutely everything. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out my snail mail. This is a really cool set. So let me tell you a little bit about how this set came to be. This is obviously all about, we know what snail mail is, right? You're sending something through the post office. And I thought it would be really fun just to do something that was kind of like, we put a lot of these cards in the mail, so we might as well be sending cards that, kind of center around that just a little bit. And around, sending kindness and love and affection and, I miss you, just a hey you, a hello, a to and a from, if you wanted to do something that was maybe, um, like a little gift or something like that. What's fun is we kind of went back in time a little bit too with some of the icons. So all of the collage stamps are going to have a mix of sentiments, a mix of fonts, different sized fonts. We're going to have some definitions in here, like this one has connection, this one says heartfelt. We're going to have full sentiments with mixed fonts, large fonts like the hugs. It says hugs enclosed. We have special delivery up here. we have little icons in here that are kind of, representative of like what you would see or how you would have put together mail back when sending mail through, well, through the mail was the popular way to do it. Like you might, type your letter on a typewriter. This one has a little carrier pigeon sending with, same with this one. Um, Here we have an actual wax seal with a little heart. Here, because we call it snail mail, we actually have little gifts on the back of a snail, which I think is just darling. And then, of course, we have little envelopes and little stamps and all kinds of things in there. So it's just really, really fun. Um, so I'm going to start with this special delivery. So when I actually stack and collage, I like to have a starting point. It's kind of like my jumping off point. And a lot of times it's either going to be an image or it's going to be a large word font. Okay, so the first one I'm starting off with is special delivery because that is one of my large words, my large fonts here. Um, and I'm
And
just going
that's
to start
actually what
grabbing
I'm
some ink
starting with as
colors.
well.
Oh, you are too?
I am. I feel like that is like the perfect, I don't even know, image, I guess, sentiment to like ground everything and to build off
Yep.
of.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. It gives you kind of a jumping off point. Now, the whole thing with collaging, the whole idea, if you're not familiar with it, collaging came from, I named it that. So this is I actually, if you will, kind of brought this concept into card making. Um, it's something that it's similar to some, like some journaling that I always like to see, but I don't journal. Um, and I thought, boy, I love the look and feel of some of these kind of stamps and how can I make cards with it? And so this is where the collaging came up. And the idea for it really came from, like when you would like back in the day, let's say the 70s, the 80s, um, you would see those frames that would have multiple places, like multiple um like collage frames that you would get at like Michael's or Kmart and stuff like that back in the day, where you could actually put, I don't know, 8 different family photos in a collage frame, right? That's how this came about. So now we're collaging, but we're doing it with words and with icons. And we're going to be building stacking. That's where the whole stack and collage came. I might stack images on top of sentiments on top of images. We'll stack them vertically. We can turn it and stack horizontally. We're also stacking with different colors. So we're kind of choosing a color combination that we think is fun. And, people always ask me too, and I'm so sorry if I just keep talking, but people also ask me too, how do you choose your colors? And, you know, there's so much in design all around us. If you don't know what colors to choose, you can look to pattern papers that you have in your stash. We always buy colors and patterns that we like, right? That we enjoy seeing. That's a good place to do it. You can also look to, um, like design, like fabric, clothing patterns, and things like that. It's all they're all around you where designers have already made selections of color for you. Okay, so
I think
I'm holding this here as I let it soak in. What was that?
I normally start with my favorite color. If I'm doing something, just plain for myself or sending a card to like a loved one, whatever the theme is that I'm doing, I usually just pick out whatever my favorite tone is in that color palette. And then I just kind of, like you said, I just let it go from there. It's very freeing. I know I've said that already, but it kind of just builds. And I think people are surprised when they start out. Here in our store, we have done some make and takes with your stack and collage, and they always are like, but where's the instructions? I'm like, in your brain, just let it go. Like it's really hard to just let it go, but then once they do, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is cool.
Well, I mean, it's literally, what can I put here? What fits here? Do I want another word? Do I want an icon? If you're not sure, you can come over here and you can actually lay your stamps over it and look right through. See, do I like something here? Does the bird, the little carrier pigeon there, does it look great? You make your selection of color and you literally just kind of start going. Um, I also try not to put two of the same color right next to each other. And that will also help to give you a nice um, layout or disbursement of color across your card. You know, so if I have green over here, then I'm not going to put more of that light green or that lime green there. I might bring it up here or I might bring it down here. And I try and use each of my colors more than once. I don't want to have like, 12 different colors on my entire card. I typically will have like somewhere between 3 and 5 colors usually. So right
Yeah,
now
I
I've
think
got
3 to 5 is a good amount. More than that is a little too busy for me.
Yeah, and it doesn't allow you to repeat either. So I did the special delivery in Boysenberry Blast, just so everybody knows what I'm using. I've got Soft Kisses is the typewriter, and then I used Prickly Pear Perfection for that little carrier pigeon. So I've built up those colors. I'm going to bring in another color here, and it's going to be um, Tropical Sea. And I'm going to bring that below my special delivery with a little love ya. I think the love ya works nice. We tried to be very mindful of the size of the fonts and the words that we put in these sets so that they work really nicely within the spaces of the collage, or not the collage, of the ledgers. But I will also tell you this, do not be afraid to go over the lines of your ledger. Use them as a guide. So like you can see here, two of my stamps go right over the line, and the love ya is kind of going over the lines too. That just kind of, in my mind, makes it all kind of join, brings it all together, and makes it function together. Oh, Lori Langemeyer is here. Hello, Lori. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So for those of you that joined after our welcome, just so you know what we're doing, I am on tonight with Leslie Rodriguez from Cobblestone Creek, Cobblestone Creek Studios. She is in Oregon. We've got some links further up, but we can put those out again as well. We're doing a little craft along with some bundles that are from our newest All Occasions collection. Leslie and I are kind of doing a little craft off, if you will. We're using the same products and making different projects, each of us. And so we're each making actually 2 cards. And she still has bundles available if you are interested in a bundle. And or you can just sit and watch. Or if you've already got your bundles, hopefully you're crafting along with us. Okay, so from here, so I have something in that little space. Now I'm going to look to my other little ledger space that's like right down here. And I'm going to choose this sentiment right here that says, you turn ordinary moments into extraordinary memories. And one of the things I love about collaging versus just regular crafting with one sentiment. When you have one sentiment on a card, you have an opportunity to really just convey one thought. But when I'm doing a collage, I can put multiple sentiments, definitions, large words, small words, of, and I can say all kinds of different things to really deepen what it is I want to say to this person. So, for example, just with what I've got here, let me go ahead and just give this a moment to soak in. For example, instead of just sending a card that says love you, I'm already letting this person know, hey, this is special. This is a special delivery from me to you. I'm sending kisses and hugs right here with the X's and O's. I love you. And guess what? You turn ordinary moments into extraordinary memories. So you're really deepening the message that you're sending to somebody. And, somebody could probably say, well, those are the things you get to choose from in your set. Well, you know what? Guess what? You get to mix and match between all of your different stamp sets. So you can change your messages up that you want to send. You can deepen them from within one set or a combination of different sets, different collage sets that you have to really expand and really personalize what it is you want to say. So I'm going to choose You Are So Lovely. I did this sentiment in Boysenberry Blast. I'm just going to kind of balance that. So I have Boysenberry Blast in the middle. I have it down here. I'm going to put it one more time up above so that I've got the one color 3 times just for balance. You Are So Lovely right here. There you go. Do you want to tell us about what you're doing over there?
I'm trying to find the right stamp sentiment. I put
Oh.
the wrong one on multiple times. I got it finally. Like, where in the world is my sentiment? So I think it's just I want to go back to, you were talking about colors, and that's something that I really struggle with sometimes, because I know what I like, but sometimes conveying it and actually picking those colors out is a little intimidating. And so I think the difference between how you and I are both doing the exact same thing tonight, but using two completely different color palettes, I think that
Mm-hmm.
shows just how versatile having these stack and collage can be. I know I always struggle trying to come across things that will work well for more masculine cards. And basically all you do is change up the colors and you have a completely different stamp set.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Yep.
kind of a cool concept.
I agree completely. They really are universal sets. You know, we do have one set um, that's called Hey Girlfriend, but I think everything else is very universal. They could be used for just about, I mean, really for anybody, which is really nice. And again, just kind of mixing and matching. Um,
Right.
it just gives you so many different choices.
I definitely think that's true, because I know going into like our next card that we're doing, I actually use something off of this snail mail card in my next card. And so I think that it works. It works for exactly what we're doing, but then the possibilities to add it to other things is amazing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
If you,
I'm working with more of like the darker turquoises and red, and unfortunately all of my inks from you are out of stock. So I am switching to a different company for tonight only, because I didn't want to use anything that I couldn't show someone how to repeat. But they'll be back in stock. But I'm doing
well,
kind
you
of a
know what? I
mixture
think that's
between.
just a I
Oh, go
think
ahead.
that's a sentiment to how much people are really enjoying the inks and just their versatility that, people keep going back for more, which is really nice.
They do. I think that that's a huge thing. I mean, obviously, you and I are using our inks right now for Stack and Collage, and I mentioned it earlier with letter pressing. Um, the fact that they work so well with alcohol-based markers. I mean, honestly, I feel like you cannot go wrong when people are picking up one or all of your inks. You really can't go wrong with them.
Right, I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, it's just I did not personally want to have so many different um, types of ink in my craft stash.
Well, and I think obviously for you, you have your brand that you work with solely. And here at my store, I feature a lot of brands in my store. And the one of the things that I tell people when they come in immediately is I have a small store. I don't have a lot of space. So I carry my go-to items that I personally use all the time. So if it's in my store, you can guarantee that it has like passed the test.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet. Okay, so I am going to grab a little scrapped piece of paper here. So I've actually pulled out um, my Here Comes the Sun postage collage. So I went ahead and stamped one of my little postage stamps up here. And I'm going to go ahead and do one more, which is right here. And then I'm going to actually die cut that. So I'm going to ink this up pretty good. And again, I'm not going to worry about it being absolutely perfect. I like that look of, imperfection. I do want to let it have a moment to soak in. If you wanted it darker, of course, you could, you can certainly do all of this with a stamping platform. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you don't have to.
I like to do a little bit of both personally. I like to do my first few main ones, the larger
Hmm.
ones that I may need to stamp a couple times to get a really good crisp image. I do those on my platform, and then everything else I go to a block because I feel like it's a little bit more freeing to just be able to stamp and not feel like I have to
Be
attach
so
it to my
perfect and
platform and
precise
all
all the
that.
time. Okay, I'm going to
That-
grab. So here's the cool thing about the postage collage. So with the nested postage collage dies, I'm going to grab. We have accessory dies in here, and if you notice, they have all those accessory dies happen to be the same shape as many of the postage collage stamps. So that means that I can cut many of these shapes out with those accessory dies that come with the nested postage collage. I will tell you this also. Nested postage collage, this is the very first one that we have. We are adding more. You're going to see another one actually very, very soon. And I will tell you that all of our postage collage, the dies will all have the same layout. The all of your accessory dies are going to work on all of your postage collage stamps. Your stencils are all going to have the same sizing and layout. So it's going to be a universal system that you can mix and match, which is really nice. All right, so let me get my little circle here. Pop this up. And I know I have tape somewhere. I'm just going to lay that down. Now I'm going to go off screen here and just run this through my die cutting machine. Okay. Oops, my tape kind of cut. There we go. All right. Put that back for now. Now I'm going to go ahead and start. Hold on. I have to put a couple things away because I'm ending up with a little bit of a mess. If I don't cover up my stamps, I'm going to have everything sticking to each other, and I'm not going to be a very happy girl. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and grab my mixed scalloped rectangles. Kathy, hello, Kathy Myers. Yes, we have a split screen. I'm so sorry, it is not your phone. Here's what's going on tonight. I am here. Leslie Rodriguez and I are crafting together. Leslie Rodriguez is the owner of Cobblestone Creek Studios in Oregon. We are crafting together. She has some bundles on her website for her store. We can link those again, if you will, please, Linnea. I would appreciate it. For those that already have the bundles, you're hopefully crafting along, or you may be reviewing this again afterwards and crafting along afterwards. And if you don't already have your bundle, then I believe there are still some available. Um, anyway, we are crafting along. Each of us is making two projects. We're working with the same products and showing you how you can make different, using the products, getting different looks with the same items. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up and see how we do. See if I can maybe cut this without cutting through anything. I'm cutting this with one of the dies. This is the third die in from the mixed scallop. It is going to cut some of the ledger image off. And that's fine, totally fine. So I'm going to go ahead, let me put something on the screen here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and run this now through my die cutting machine. So yeah, so Leslie and I are having a little crafting fun, a craft off, if you will. Except there's no competition.
Right.
We're just kind of
So
a
while
couple of girls
you're
hanging
doing
out.
that, I just ran through over on my die cutting machine. I am using one of the wax seals for this card, using the Sealed with Kiss. So I'm using one of those where you're using a completely different set. So same concept, but doing a little bit different on my side.
Yep.
I'm gonna
It
save
just really
those
shows the
two.
versatility, I think, of what you can do with these products, which is really nice.
I definitely agree. 100%. I felt like I
So
was
I'm gonna
behind for a second, but realized that you were on the same step just with a different set, and I panicked for a minute.
now I'm going to go ahead and just with my paper trimmer, I'm going to trim a piece of yellow cardstock here, just so I see, here's what I'm doing. I want this white is going to go over this one, but I want a separation of color. And I don't have a die, or I don't have, that's just going to give me this little 16th of a bit, right? 16th of an inch. So I'm literally just going to trim this with my paper trimmer just to get that teeny tiny little bit on the outside of it. And I'm literally just eyeballing it. No measuring. I don't measure. I'm not a measuring girl. Call me lazy. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. Just don't call me late for dinner. Ha ha ha. Sorry. Okay, so I know it's like, oh my goodness, goofy.
I feel like
Okay.
I need to have some movie trivia. I always miss
Movie.
out on the movie trivia.
Are you a movie watcher?
No.
Oh.
But I always want to participate. I watch every week and I'm always like, oh, I need to watch more movies.
For some reason, we remember. So what Leslie's referring to, if you don't join so on Thursday nights, on most Thursday nights, I do a live on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. And I tend to, in our household, we tend to say lines from movies, just as we're talking, and if for whatever reason. And so I'll kind of put little quizzes out there, um, little sayings from movies or television shows, um, and then we give prizes based on who gets the answer correct first. So that's what that is.
I feel like I'm going to have to
So,
brush up on it before you come to visit this spring.
yeah, do you want to give everybody those dates?
Oh gosh. I'm going to have to post them in the comment.
Did I just? Well, I'm actually working on an events page to put
Perfect.
on the LDRS Creative website. I actually started it today, believe it or not.
I
So
do
we
know
will be
it's at
putting
the
those up.
end of May.
Yes,
Because
it is at the
you are
end of
closing
May.
out, that'll be my 3rd-year anniversary in May. And so you are coming to teach a couple classes with us here in Oregon to help celebrate that. Well, not just to celebrate that, but it's a pretty good
It's
excuse.
really just to see you.
Right. Well, then I think we should have an anniversary every month. I'm sure Alan
Okay.
would love that.
Oh. Okay, so here's what I've
Ugh.
done right now. You could actually leave it like this. It's a really, really cute little tag, like for a gift bag or a box or something like that. It's super, super cute. You could write a little note on the back of it. But anyway, so what I've done is I went ahead and you watched me die cut my ledger or my second collage ledger piece, and then I backed it in a little bit of a pale yellow, and then I put it up on foam with a die cut. So I cut first of all I cut the ledger with the third die in, and then with the second die here, right here's the second die. That's what I cut the white and then I popped them both up on foam so I have a little bit of dimension there. Now, the really cool thing about the mixed scallop rectangle, if you haven't figured it out already, looking at is it is a mix of scallops. So every single die in here, with the exception of the smallest one, because it's too small really for us to put a really teeny tiny scallop on it. But every one of those scallop dies actually has a unique scallop edge. And then they also have a really deep deboss line in there as well. So this is what the largest one looks like. Let me see if I can catch it in the light in the camera. It's so bright, when we're in studio. But here you can see that deep deboss line there. So this one is cut then with the largest of these dies. I went ahead and pre-cut that. And so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put some foam on the back of this piece. And I'm going to mount that to the front of the pink. I think I'm actually, can I go this direction? I think I will, because this is my last little piece of foam from this roll. Oh, is that going to fit? There we go. And then I have another roll right here with all my little bits and pieces hanging off of it.
And I'm using a combination of foam as well in between some of my layers, but because I used one of the wax seals, I'm adding just a little bit of some, I guess you'd call it twine, burlap twine, so that it looks like I've used an actual wax seal on my card. So I feel like it just called for just a little bit of something on there.
No, I like it. I love that texture. The twine, I've actually got to get some new twine because the twine that I have left is so thick. And I don't like to use it because it's so thick. I need a nice
This is
card
this
making
is
twine.
my go-to. I absolutely love it. It comes on a roll of
Yeah, look how
so
it's
much. I
nice
think
and
it's like
thin. I like that.
400 yards.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love it.
Do you sell that in
I
your
ab-
store?
I do. I do sell it. And it actually comes in a lot of colors. This is like the jute color, the brown or the natural, but it also comes in like a gorgeous ivory. It comes in like a baby pink, a blue for Christmas and Valentine's. I'm out of it right now, but we had a red. There's a really gorgeous green. I
Do
mean,
you
there's a
ship to
million colors.
Michigan?
I do. I do. I do.
I actually might be going shopping at your store when I come there in May.
Perfect. Well, I always tell people, they get so excited when they come in my store and they say, "Oh my gosh, I wish I had a store like this." And I said, "Well, just be careful because I had a craft room like crazy and this is what it turned into."
Yep. Yep. It's a Martha Stewart good thing though.
Oh, it's
Okay, my
definitely a good
card
thing.
is done.
And I am just about done. I'm adding my last little tiny bit.
All
Oh
right, I'm
my
gonna get a
goodness.
drink of water while I watch you finish up.
Just
Oh,
adding,
look
that
at
is the
that.
easiest,
I love those
quickest
wax
wax
seals.
seal. That was the quickest wax seal I have ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I
No
didn't make a
muss, no
mess.
fuss, no fire, no flame.
Yes, no. Well, and in my store, we have a little like electronic one that we plug in because I realized it probably for insurance was probably not the best that I had a flame in a paper store
Yes.
going.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
all right. And I'm going to use this just for some extra stability, the panel that I cut my little ledger out of, I'm going to now glue my, of course I'll put it on a card base, but I like lots of stability when I'm building my cards. So we're going to just bump that on there. Can't throw it away. It's too
No,
good
no,
of
no,
paper to
no.
throw
It gives
away.
you a nice, heavy, thick card topper.
So looks a little green on the camera, but I definitely, it is turquoise.
Oh, is it
Turquoise, yellow,
turquoise?
and red. It is. It looks green on the camera. I'm looking at it
It
right now and I'm like,
does.
oh my gosh, it looks bright green, but it's actually like a beautiful turquoise cardstock. So like an aqua.
Well, I love that card. I think it looks great. And I love that you've done such a different card and we've used the same products. All you did was change the ledger. And to be honest with you too, both of the ledgers can be used, vertical or horizontal. So
Mm-hmm.
don't think that you can only make a card in these directions. You can turn that however you want, change up your colors, mix your stamps, and each of us, a couple of the stamps that we used are the same, but just from the same set, we chose a lot of different stamps too. So, I mean, you get 30 stamps in total just in, one of those collage sets. So you really do get a lot of options just in one stamp set, which I think is really cool.
Oh, you definitely
Super
do. And
fun.
now seeing it on the camera, I feel like I need to make a Christmas card because I love the way it looks.
Yeah, and it says special delivery too, so it's perfect for
Right?
Christmas. Okay, well, shall we start card number two?
We shall.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Oh
I
yeah.
am.
That was that was a cheer from junior high, I think. For me anyway. I was
Well,
yes,
I have to
yes, I was
say,
a cheerleader.
this set for us here in Oregon, we get rain 9 months out of the year. And I know it says here comes the sun, but I immediately was like, oh, it is all things beautiful rain, which I personally love.
Well, you know what I love about this, and the reason why we called it "Here Comes the Sun" because for us, it's the same thing. We have a whole season, a whole rainy season, but without that, we wouldn't have the gorgeous spring and the gorgeous summer, right? It's because of all that rain, and that's why we say "Here comes the sun" because we know that what comes after all of that rain is gorgeous green grass and flowers, and but there's also fun. There's, like in here, you've got the jumping on the puddles and you get the rainbows and you get all the beautiful sun's rays and it's just so fun. And we get to bring out our rain boots. You get to bring out really fun umbrellas. And it really is all about, hey, here comes spring is really what this set is all about. So I just
Oh,
love it.
I love it. And I love that you added just a little bit, like a hint of this is what all of these beautiful elements are going to bring are the beautiful flowers.
Yep. Yep. It's all about the coming spring. Okay. So now I'm bringing out, let's see, I've got the nested postage collage, the Here Comes the Sun stencils, Here Comes the Sun postage collage, and then I'm also going to be putting some of my Seal with a Kiss seals on here as well. So let's see, I've gone ahead and I've done a little bit of die cutting on mine already. So I've got my card base. I've got a really kind of pretty, like a rainwater, blue backer or topper, however you want to look at it. With the largest die, so let me talk to you about the nested postage. This is actually there are two large dies here. The outer die is a separate die, and this is what gives you that postage edge. Okay. This second die here, this is the one that gives you the collage, and then all those accessory dies, which we talked about already. I'm going to set those aside for now. But this is the one that gives you that really pretty collage shape. It'll actually go like this when it's upside down. This is actually going to be the shape that it cuts in this way. But what's nice about this is you get the straight edge on this, and then you're going to get a deep emboss that's going to separate each of those little I guess I call them vignettes, if you will, because we're going to be putting some fun little decorative elements in each of those. And then you also have stitching around each of those too. Um, so here is what I cut with a really gorgeous, sunshine yellow. And I cut that with that outer postage die, which I'm going to set aside now so you can see what I've got here. Um, Oh, Lori Langemeyer says, love the new packaging. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad. We've received so many compliments on the new packaging, so I'm really glad that everybody is loving it. Our packaging has changed. We've got different colors for the different product lines. And it's just really, really refreshing. There's a lot more information on it as well, to tell you more about the products, about coordinating products, how to use them, and things like that. So thank you. I'm glad you guys are liking it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my collage. I do tend to cut the collage first before I stencil. There we go. Okay. I'm going to put these pieces here aside. And so this is just throw that away. Now you can see what this looks like. Let me see if I can catch it in the light. It's kind of hard again because the lights are so bright, but in person you can really see that deboss line. It's really nice. And you can see that stitching. So you can see all those little shapes, and your stencils are going to line up with those really nicely. Now with each stencil, you might be stenciling multiple colors, so it is good to have a little bit of tape just to kind of mask some things as you need them. You're going to want to have some blending brushes of some sort as well. But if you notice when you look at the new packaging here, so we've got some of the imagery on the front, and then when you look at the back, like for the stencils, for example, how to use, cleaning and care, and we let you know on the back too if there's a stencil layering guide inside. And I'm going to show that to you once I open this up as well. So when you see that, when it says stencil layering guide, don't just pull your stencils out, pull your packaging out, because it's going to open like a book. Okay, and so here is our stencil layering guide. We have 3 stencils. We show you how the stencils are going to work. So you can see here's your finished picture. The very first stencil, these are the areas you're going to color. The second stencil, these are the areas you'll color, and the third one. Now you'll notice on each of these that we have little guide marks on there. See those little lines there? Those are your alignment guides. You also will have, not on the first one, but on the second one, we add additional alignment guides. Those alignment guides that you'll see are you're not going to actually stencil through those. Those help you align with each of the images that you just stenciled. So you'll align that alignment guide over like this that you just stenciled on your previous stencil, just to make sure that you're aligning properly. Makes it really, really easy. And then, of course, on the inside, we give you some card inspiration and, just to kind of get you started, which is really nice too. Each one of our stencils is going to have, it's going to be alphanumeric. So you might have, numbers or numbers and letters in the corners. Sometimes you'll have, numbers and letters up in the little areas there just to kind of show you, um, or to help you, um, with the order of how you're supposed to use them, and you'll go to your alignment guide for that to help you out with that. So now this is what's hard when I'm in studio, is trying to actually align things up because my light is so bright it's hard to see. Do you
Well,
find
I'm
that
gonna hope
when you're working?
I do. Well, and because of where my camera is and everything, so mine
All
is
right, there we go.
about 8 inches in front of me. So I am hoping that mine's lined up. If not, you know what? I'm just gonna go
Right.
with it.
Well, yeah, it's just the light is just so bright that I can't we just have too much light in here. It's flooded. And so the way that we light the studio is so that we don't get any shadows. That's why you don't see a ton of shadows when I'm working here, when I'm crafting. But what that means is that I don't have shadows to see what's going on.
To
I
see
need
what's going
shadows.
on.
Yeah, you have no
I'm going to
idea how much
realign
the
mine.
shadows actually help you.
They do. I'm going to realign mine because after standing on my tiptoes, I can see that I'm not lined up well at all. So let's
Yeah.
try that again.
Yeah, it really is funny when you realize that the shadows are really beneficial for you, and then when they're taken away. Okay, so I'm
Yes.
going to go ahead and start stenciling, and I'm going to use banana cream pie. I do want to have a little scrap piece here off to the side, so you guys can't see it, but I have a little scrap piece here, and I have my little brush here, and I just want to make sure that everything looks good. So I'm going to start up here. I am going to actually tape some areas off. So I don't want to get yellow in my raindrops there, for example. So I just went ahead and covered up my raindrops with a little bit of tape. And I'm just going to put some yellow now in here for the sun's rays. I'm going to keep it kind of light. This is the banana cream. And I'm going to look and see if I have any other yellow that I need to do. And I'm going to put some yellow here. This is part of the clothing. And again, if you had, um, if I had the stencil layering guide out here too, which I don't have a full enough screen to show you, but if I did have the stencil layering guide out, then you would be able to see why I'm making that yellow. It does help to have that with you. Now down in here, this flower right here, I want to mark off. So I want to get, now you could do all of this here with these little flowers. Let me show you the stencil layering guide real quick. So you see all these little flowers. There's multiple colors in there. So you may want to actually mask some of these things off, which is what I'm going to do right now. Just with some tape, I'm just going to mask them off so I only get yellow where I want it to go. Okay. So now I'm just going to get yellow in these little flowers, just right there. And I think that is all the yellow I want to do. Yep, that is all the yellow I want. And I'm looking to see if there's any other colors. Let me look at something. Yeah, I think that's it. Just looking at my stencil layering guide, I think that's all the yellow I want. So now I'm going to, up in here, I think I'm going to put some green. So I'm going to tape off, and you can play with this. I mean, it really doesn't, there is no right or wrong. So if you put a color in there, and you really can't go wrong with it, so don't worry if it's wrong. I'm just kind of playing with where I want things to go. So I'm going to put this green, which is Prickly Pear Perfection, is going to go up here. Such a pretty green. I am going to give a little bit of a wipe just to get any excess off. There we go. And then I'm going to lift these up here too. I'm going to leave these flowers here covered. I have some other little flowers here that I want to keep covered, and I think I have leaves up here. Yep, I have leaves there. So now I'm going to cover this little flower here. Ah, my tape isn't working anymore. This little part here, I will say, is maybe a tiny little bit tedious, but it's going to be good. Just because I want
Sometimes you
some of
need
these.
the tedious.
Yeah, but sometimes I think what I should have done was actually cleaned. What I didn't do was wipe the excess off so my tape isn't sticking because I have ink on it.
Oh
and ink
no.
on my pencil, which was like, silly girl. Tricks are for kids. See, like that's a quiz time. What is that from? Tricks are for kids. Oh,
Well,
Kelly wants
that
to
one's
sing Who Thinks Up the Ink Names? I do, actually. I thought up the ink names. I seriously did.
well, and Kelly
Okay.
owns quite a few of them.
Oh, really? Well, thank you,
She
Kelly. I'm
does.
glad
She
you're
does.
enjoying them. Yeah,
She's
living with the
already
best
on the
Angie.
imaginary list for you to come and teach classes. She's at the top of the list already.
Why is the list imaginary, girl?
Well, because it's just a sign up for now because someone doesn't know the date.
You know the date, don't you?
I do, but not off the top of my head. It's on the form.
Am I putting you on the spot? I'm sorry.
No, oh gosh, no,
Okay.
you are not putting me on the spot. I'm putting myself on the spot by not knowing.
Okay,
I'm
so
the
this
one
is
that
Marina
said, please
Madness.
come teach at my store, and then didn't know when you were coming.
Yeah, we need to get your graphics out to you too. We need to
Well,
do
it's
that.
going to be a good time. I'm super, super excited because we don't even know what we're using yet because it'll be so brand new at the time.
It's not even designed yet. Yep.
Oh, that's
Like the
exciting.
product. We don't even have the product designed yet. We're working on it. So I'm actually doing two different blues on my um what are these called? Clowns? So I started with Marina Madness and then I brought in some Tropical Sea just to add. I like to add multiple colors, like versions of the same color or even two different colors for added interest, added dimension. I just think it's fun. Okay, so let me see. I feel like I may have moved things a little bit, but maybe not. No, that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna come in here, right there, and right here over this yellow because I want to get some really pretty light pink in here. And this one is Soft Kisses on these little flowers here. There we go. And I need another piece of tape up here because I'm going to come in with Boysenberry Blast. Ah, one of my favorites. I love this. I just think it's so pretty.
It's such a pretty color. I'm constantly out of stock of it, constantly. I feel like I
I'm
order enough and then they're all gone immediately.
trying to think if this is the right. No, this isn't supposed to be Boysenberry Blast. This one is supposed to, I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong one. This one is supposed to be Soft Kisses. I have to think about where my umbrella is because these first two are going to get the dots. Let me look. See, this is why it's good to look back. Yeah, so the first two are the outermost, and those are going to get the dots that go over it. So see that right there. So I want to do these lighter. So the first one is lighter, and this is going to be with Soft Kisses. All right. Have to think. Telling you, having that stencil layering guide is critical. It really, really helps you see what you're doing. Okay, so I think I can lift this up. Before I actually lift the whole thing up, I just want to pull up all my tape and make sure I filled all of my spaces, and I have. So I'm going to move this one aside. Looks great. Look how cute already.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm one flower behind you. One flower.
Now, I don't know if you can see this or not on the camera, but I have layering guides right here. See those lines and see these lines that are up in here? Those alignment guides are going to line up with what I just stenciled. That's how we guarantee and make sure that we are exactly in the right place. Okay? We make it really easy. Nothing to stencil in this center one. All right. So I'm going to go ahead with my same pink color and let me see, make sure. Yeah, that just gets the center of that sun, just with some of that soft kisses, really light, just with what's left on my brush, because I want to stay light with it. And now I'm going to go ahead and place one of my magnets over there. I'm going to get some fresh tape here and just tape off this little section here. And now I'm going to do that boysenberry blast with that beautiful, look at that gorgeous berry color. Now I'm going to come in with boysenberry blast. Really light though, so it doesn't get really dark on me here. So almost no pressure there. Let me move that and see. I'm going to go a little bit.
And I'm starting up in the
A little
top
bit
left
more.
corner because I don't want to drag my hand through it because I know I will end up not through
Okay,
on the
so
paper,
now,
but I'm really bad about cleaning my stencils in between use, and so I usually end up dragging my hand through
oh,
and
okay.
getting it. I'm bad, I know. You're always on me about cleaning. It
Clean
has
up,
not
clean up.
changed.
So I'm going to go in here now and I'm going to do some pink with my soft kisses, same colors, and just fill in with this particular stencil number 2. Get some pink in there and peel that up. I'm going to just give it a quick little wipe, and all I'm doing is wiping it with water. And now I'm going to put my tape over that image because it's done, and that makes it nice and easy for me. So I'm going to go ahead. Now, if you notice, I actually can't notice because you can't see it, but I always close every single time I'm done with an ink pad. I close it and I set it aside. So now I'm bringing out my Prickly Pear Perfection. And I'm going to put some green tights on this girl. And we're also going to get those buttons. So now she's got Martian legs. Green tights.
I was chuckling when I was working on my cards because it's funny when you see the pieces in between. Until you see it all come together, you're kind of like, oh, I have these random legs.
I know. What am I doing here? So I'm just going to tape this off so I can just get the water there. And that is going to be done with Marina Madness. Marina Madness is my absolute favorite blue for both water and sky. Really, really pretty, soft, and it really works great for clouds, for sky, for water. It's just wonderful. There
I
you
would
go.
say that's
Nice and
probably our
soft.
number 4 seller, top seller. With behind, we have Raven, Alloy. Dandelion is a huge hit, probably because I use it on everything. But then, the blues, you only, I think there are 3 blues
I
total?
think there's 4, but
4.
the
4.
little boy blue is super super light. It's a really
It's
really
very
soft light
light.
color. Yeah.
But oh my gosh, I mean, they're all good, but that Marina, oh, it's good.
Yeah,
It's
some
good.
of the light colors that we have are literally, they're not for stamping, they're for color blending because sometimes you just want a super, super fine, fine color. And I learned like with Copics, with working with Copics, I always like to have like the quadruple zeros. so that you would get like a barely there color. And that's why we have some of those really, really light colors. It's so that you could get that super fine kind of glow without having too much color. That's why they're like that. But they're definitely not for stamping. They're for color blending more.
You almost don't realize you need them until you use them the first time and you're like,
Right.
yep, that's the reason I need it.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. So now I'm coming in with that dandelion on my beautiful flower in the center here. And I'm going to wipe this up every single time so I don't mix my colors together in this area. So I'm going to now move my tape down, cover up that flower. And now I'm going to move to the boysenberry, which I still have some of it on my brush here. So just ink that in there. I like using what's left on the brush so that it's not too dark, and it's also kind of like cleaning off your brush on your project, which is nice. But it gives you a nice variation of color. And then I'm going to cover up that yellow one again. And here for this blue, I'm going to use what's left of my Marina Madness on this flower. There we go. I could probably dip into that again, make it a little bit darker, but I'm not gonna. And then here, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Oh, we
There
just
we
talked
go.
about that earlier about that one last, I'm going to fix it.
So now I'm
Always
going to
when
come
I
in here
mess it up.
again with what's left of boysenberry. Yeah, just with what's left of boysenberry. I think I need a little bit more. That might be a little bit too light. Ooh, there you go. A little bit better. Just one little dab into the boysenberry. And wipe that up. Let me see if there's anybody I missed here. I love this. It's like the great reveal, you know? What did I do? What have I done? How does it look?
Right?
I'm going to make this pink a little bit darker. Actually, I'm going to take some of my boysenberry and just come in with that a bit too. There we go. Oh, looky, looky.
I
Looky,
think with
looky,
stencil
looky.
too is where you start to see it kind of start coming together. It's so fun.
Yep. Very cool. Okay. Yeah, because now you can see we've got some legs here, but maybe there's going to be some feet. We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, now let's see. Stencil 3. There we go. Let's layer
Okay.
that one on.
Moving on.
Okay. Let me get my little bits of tape out of here. That's not right. It's not layered right.
Oh, I love this layer. This is like before any ink at all, you can just see everything come together. It's so cool.
Yeah, it is fun. All of a sudden the shapes, because by the time you put the third one there, all of your shapes are there now. All the little missing pieces, like what, the rest of the rain, and it's just really, really fun. Okay, so now let me get a little more tape. And I'm just going to go from one to the next. So now I'm going to grab my darker yellow, which is dandelion, and I'm going to finish the sun.
And Mary Kay said that she loves both of our color choices. I think that just goes to show again that we are using exact same products, literally exact same products,
Mm-hmm.
but two completely different color schemes, and they look so cool.
Yeah, yep. More than one way to make a card. So the sun is done. I'm going to move here. So I'm going to cover up a couple of things here. I'm going to cover up that little bitty top of the umbrella, as well as the little handle, because I'm going to bring some boysenberry in. This is boysenberry blast, and we're going to add some little polka dots onto, and I love this. I don't know what it is about polka dots, but I love polka dots. I never look good in
Oh,
polka dots, but I always think they look so good on other people.
well, I
I
had
do
to
love them.
refrain because I really, really wanted to put polka dots on my rain boots, but I was like, nope, that's not a part of the class. We're not going to do that. But come tomorrow in my store, there will probably be polka dotted rain
There
boots.
you go.
I think it's also cool because this layer here, the polka dots on your umbrella, or even like on the rain, you could add in like some stencil paste. Would be so pretty to
Mm-hmm.
have a little bit of a
Yep.
shimmer. Like I was trying to be like, nope, we're not doing that. But I think it would be. There's so
You
many
can really go to
possibilities.
town with it. It's
Oh,
just,
for sure.
it's so fun.
I had to
And one
definitely keep
little
myself
piece
focused and
here.
not realize that it was not about just playing, but I needed to focus. Tomorrow. There's always tomorrow, though.
There's a whole song about that, isn't there?
Yes. Isn't it the sun will come out tomorrow?
Yeah.
That one I do know. See, I'm working on my trivia. That's a musical. I'm not a
Yes.
musical person, but apparently I am now.
There you go. See, I just got blue up there in my sun. Oh well. Oh well.
Oops.
Maybe it's the start of a rainbow.
There you
Okay.
go.
Cover this up. Leave this covered, but okay, so here's where it gets a little tricky. Oh, that's already covered, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to go over here, cover this, and I am going to cover my flowers just to be careful. And now I think I'm going to go kind of light because I went a little bit darker before with the first round.
And I'm trying to be
There
careful
we
because I am not doing any covering. I'm probably going to regret that now that I just said it, but
go.
I'm using a little bit smaller blending brushes, so I'm hoping I can keep myself under control.
There you go. Hey,
Trying at least.
the tools make the difference.
Well, sometimes
They can, right?
they can, but there's always that user of the tool.
Okay, so from here, now I'm going to grab my dandelion, and I am not going to get those boots. I'm just going to do all the rest here with this rainbow as well as with the raincoat in dandelion. So pretty. All right. Now, rain boots. Dun 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 dun. Boys, boysenberry.
Oh, they're so,
Boysenberry rain
so
boots.
cute. I love the rain boots.
They're darling, aren't they?
I love them. I just think they're so, so cute.
Look at how cute they are. I love them. I have
I'm not an
love
owner of rain boots,
relationship.
but after earlier today, I might be because I feel like being an Oregon native, I don't have rain boots. I don't have an umbrella, but gosh, I really want to. These are so cute. If nothing
Yeah.
more, I just want to say that I have little polka dotted rain boots.
Oopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie do. I don't want that color in there. The center of that
Gosh, this
flower.
is such a fun stencil. It really is. It's just so, so fun.
And
I
it's
feel like if
easy.
I
That's what's
wasn't in the
really
middle
cool.
of writing orders for my trade show, I could sit here and stencil and play all day. I think some of my ladies might be a little frustrated with me though, because I have a feeling you have some product coming soon that they are going to want, and I should
Ooh,
not be
do
playing.
we?
You do, you do. And I think you even mentioned at the end I could maybe sneak peek a couple things.
You can, you can.
We had a really great time this last week. We did a class with you featuring all brand new
Yes.
product, and oh, they're some of the ladies that have been in have definitely already seen a couple things because I just can't keep it a secret from them. But maybe for someone
Well,
else that hasn't seen it yet, it will be new.
yeah, and there's actually 39 new products in the upcoming collection.
There is. There's a lot. I was just working on uploading it, and it's not up on the website yet for pre-order, but I was working on it, and I'm like, goodness sakes, there's a lot of new.
There is. Well, we do 4 collections per year. Um, 2 of them in, the first quarter, so we do them quarterly. Our first quarter and our third quarter collections are the largest. Um, and our second quarter and fourth quarter collections are a little bit smaller. Um, Still a fair amount of product, but they are a little bit smaller. So this one being, the first quarter, it's a there's a lot in it, and it's all just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff, if I do say so. I'm super excited about it.
Well, and I did
We
not
always
hold back.
try and
So,
do, well, we always
ev-
try and do, or I always try and do, um, I try and, we always promise, and it's always very important to me, a couple of things. I always like to have products that we're adding on to, like product lines that we add on to so that, everybody can keep adding. You don't, like, for example, if you have the puzzle frames, we want you to be able to add on to that with more puzzle scenes. And so, we add more of those on there so that you can keep building that up. And that's really important to me. Same with the stack and collage, so that you can add to that and just expand that because it's so fun. I don't want you to have products also that you can only use, one time. I want you to have things that you can use over and over and you can mix and match. And that's a big part of what we do at LDRS is create products that you can mix and match. Um, because I don't want you to buy something, use it once or use it twice, and then set it aside and never grab it again, you know. Um, so we're very, very careful to make sure that we're designing not just for the present, but forwards and backwards as well, so that we have, everybody, we have you in mind. We're designing for you, um, so that you can build on what you have and keep using what you have, but do even more things with some of the new stuff that we add to it.
well, even just like what we're doing tonight, we're using a product that came out, gosh, the Ledger a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
so it's not like, just because it wasn't a part of the brand new release, it can't be used. I love that about your products is that first and foremost, yes, we want new designs, but we want to be able to still use everything we have. We invest in our product and we want to make sure that, I'm a customer too, and I want to make sure that I get the best value for what I'm buying. And I think that
Right.
that's something you're very diligent about when it comes to new product.
Yeah, it's something that is always a part of our design process. Okay. Ah, there we go. The great reveal. Oh
Oh
my
my goodness,
goodness.
are you already revealing? I have one more thing to do and then
I
I'm
just
done.
did a reveal, darling.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have to add my polka dots. I was so excited for my polka dots and I forgot them.
So
There we
fun.
go.
Oh, Karen's here. Hey, Karen. Hey, girlfriend.
Oh, she says yes, right orders. Got it.
Always thinking. Always thinking. Okay, so
Oh
I'm
my.
just going to take a moment here to kind of clean up a little bit so that I can move on to my next phase. All right. So from here, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to bring in, here we go, just another piece of cardstock. I don't think I mentioned all of the white cardstock that I'm using, by the way, is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. It just happens to be my favorite. Um, let's see, I'm going to grab my,
Oh, polka dots.
so I'm grabbing my, you got polka dots? Are you
I
putting polka
have
dots
polka
on the
dots.
boots?
No, I'm not, but I put them on my umbrella. I'm gonna leave it how it is supposed to be
So
because I know
pretty.
if I try it now, I'm gonna mess it up.
I love that your colors are so vibrant. Mine are like a little more, soft and kind of pastel. I think that's really fun. Hello, Rita. Welcome. Rita Matina's out there. Alan. Misto. Rita Matina's on. Do you want to say hello? Okay, so I've grabbed my Here Comes the Sun postage collage. All right. And I'm going to start doing some stamping. I'm just going to ink this up really, really well. Just going to let that soak in for a moment and we'll see how it does. I may actually put some of these into my stamping platform if I want them to be a little more crisp, but we'll see. Actually, it looks gorgeous, looks perfect. If you notice, I let it sit for a moment and soak in, and I do believe that that makes all the difference. A lot of people will just kind of go, oh, here, stamp and off, and it doesn't allow the ink to soak into your paper. You'll get a much more crisp image if you're a little more patient with it and give it a moment to soak in. So this one actually says sending you sunshine and rainbows. Let that soak in. Ooh, Lori says she loves the vibrant colors.
I think it's funny that last time we did a live, mine were super vibrant and yours were really soft too. So maybe next time I need to go soft and maybe you need to go super bright. I don't know if I'll be able to
Maybe.
be that
Is that
light-handed.
is that a challenge? That sounds like a
I
challenge
don't
to
know.
me.
Well, I'm not sure if it's a good challenge or not because I like to go really dark. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Isn't it so fun? I
So
love how
I
you
just
have different
added my
colors
snail
in your
mail.
rain too.
What's
What'd you
that?
say? I love how you have different colors in the rain.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of fun and it was honestly not by accident. I just thought that it was a little bit of a texture. I didn't want to add too much because I think if
Mm-hmm.
you add too much very easily goes wrong.
Did you notice in this stamp set, the Here Comes the Sun, did you notice that the little icons that are in this, the Here Comes the Sun postage? So we actually have separate little, four separate little rainbow arches here, so you could build your own
Yes.
rainbow if you want. We've got clouds in here. We have raindrops that you can stamp over and over again if you want pouring rain. the sun, the oh my goodness, what is it called? The umbrella. Super, super cute. So it's not just postage stamps. Really, 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 really cute stuff. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get these die cut, and I'm going to use my nested postage. Oops, my nested postage accessory dies to do it.
And
I
I'm
do
still
have one
stamping
in
away.
here
I'm
for each of the
using my Here
shapes.
Comes the Sun postage collage and my snail mail set to add some texture. But I know you mentioned the raindrops in the set, and I love the fact that they are proportionate to the stencil. So I actually added a couple extras underneath my rainbow here, or I'm sorry, my
Oh,
umbrella,
darling.
and I
Love
added
that.
them into the clouds for a little bit of texture. So I think it's awesome
Yeah.
that they are very proportionate.
Yep. No, that looks awesome. I love it. I love how you stamped like right over your image also that you stenciled. Again, it's collaging. That's why it's all considered part of the stack and collage. It's all layering, collaging, creating depth, dimension. And when you do that, you're bringing all of the images together and kind of, marrying them, if you will, with each other, which is it's just lovely. It's just so nice. And it adds so much more interest. And again, it adds more depth to the message that you're sending somebody.
Well, and like you mentioned earlier, they don't have to stay, even for the ledger, it doesn't have to stay inside the lines. Like for my Hugs Enclosed, I bumped it into that little puddle section. So it's almost like encroaching onto that other section. But I think it almost kind of helps it look like a composed piece
Right.
together.
Yep. I agree completely. Yeah, you really can't go wrong with any of the collage products. Um, whether it's stack and collage, postage collage, or the puzzles are also part of the collage. Everything works really nicely together.
Well, and we
So
were
I'm going to
supposed
go
to do the
ahead.
puzzles tonight originally, but because they all got bought up, we we switched over.
This is true. This is very true. I'm going to go ahead and add a few of the postage stamps um, into, my collage here. And I'm not going to worry about it being stamped perfectly. See, I love when it looks kind of worn like that when it's not stamped perfectly. So I will not necessarily hold it in place as long when I stamp with the block, when I want it to look kind of fuzzy like that, because I like it
Well, and I
that
think
way.
most postage, those once your envelope has been run through the mail, they don't look super crisp anymore. So
Correct.
I think it's exactly how it should be.
Let me clean this off. And then I'm going to put a little rain or shine right here. Rain or shine. I also think it's fun to kind of stamp off the page ever so slightly. So again, it's perfectly imperfect.
I agree. I feel like it's kind of tough when you are a really clean, crisp stamper sometimes to do that, but I always feel like the results are amazing when I do
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah, when you just kind of let go and realize that there are no rules to creativity, you can just really have fun with it. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp a couple more things. Let me see. Now, let's see. Let me get some scrap paper here.
I love
I'm
this little
clean
sentiment.
up
Rain or
my
shine,
ink.
express delivery. So
Isn't it
cute.
darling? It's just darling, darling, darling. Okay, so I'm gonna get a couple of my, ooh, I've actually got a couple in here. So I've got a couple of, um, maybe I'll just use these. No, I'm not. So let's see, what do I have in here? I've already got them. Like I have some left over from when I did this before. Oh, you know what? I don't have my die here. Err. Me still Hunt,
I
Mr.
would
Hunt.
say use them. I have some sitting next to me that I have pre-done just in case.
Yeah, but
The
these two
die
don't.
here.
These
Oh,
two don't really fit with what I want to say. So,
uh,
Alan, I need you to go over there and in one of those. And he gave me this. He gave me this so I can point. See how I can point? It's in one of those piles, and it's going to be my sealed with good wishes die. It's a little sealed with good wishes die. It's in one of those stacks. See, everybody needs an Allen.
everyone needs an Allen.
Everyone needs an Allen. It's in one of those, I promise you. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp a couple of these. Now, thank you. He did find it for me. Looky, looky, he found it for me. Isn't that great?
There it
So
is.
I'm going to stamp the little hearts here and then the with love. Now, here's the cool thing about this set is we've actually, it says 6 stamps, although you get 9 different seals and then 3 different sentiments down here. Some of these seals have sentiments on, some of them are just icons. But the way that we've designed it is you actually get 3 in one stamp. So I'm going to pull this second one right here. And you can see that there's 3. And so the die actually will cut all 3 at the same time. So I am going to do this in my Misty because I do want these to stamp a little more precise, a little bit cleaner than what I think I'm going to do with my stamping block. I'm going to line these up in here because I may want to ink these up more than once. What I would normally do and what I'm not prepared to do right now is, well, actually, you know what? Maybe I will. Alan, do me a favor, will you? Will you get my heat tool out of here? And then
Ooh,
also
I
get
was
my
hoping you would
clear
do that.
embossing folder. Yeah, also get my clear embossing powder. Here's another little thing to tell you about the hybrid inks, okay? You can actually heat emboss with every single one of these colors. You just need to have an embossing powder, like a clear embossing powder, and a heat tool. So Alan's going to get that all set up for me. I am going to just wipe these off because I haven't stamped with this one before. So all I'm doing is rubbing off any of the residue left over from manufacturing or any little bits of polymer that might be loose. I need you in the top drawer right there in front of you, top drawer. Yep. Get the one that says clear. It has the little, no, does that say clear? Okay, then get me that and then get me the powder. Yep. So here's what Alan got me. I have my little tub of clear embossing powder here. I'm going to move some of my things out of the way. And then I also have my 200-year-old anti-static pouch here. It really is very, very old. Okay, so here's what I do. I actually have this just a little container that you get, who knows, Container Store, Amazon, something like that. And so I actually dump my embossing powders in because I don't like to make mess. And so this allows me to really control what I'm doing. And yes, control, because I am a bit of a control nut. So, right, Alan? Okay, so I'm going to use Tropical Sea. I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to do this a couple of times because I want this to be good and wet so that when I apply my embossing powder, It's really nice and inky. I also use my anti-static in this area over here where I'm going to be stamping. I'm going to grab my Stampendable to really get a nice, good, even pressure when stamping. And now I'm going to ink that up one more time so that those are really good and wet. I have a lot of ink on there. And then fairly quickly, I'm going to transfer over and apply my powder, my embossing powder over the top. Okay, so you can see that embossing powder has held, so that's good. I am going to put the lid on my embossing powder so that I don't use my heat gun and get embossing powder everywhere. Guess how I know to do that?
We've all done it.
I'm also going to heat my heat tool, preheat it off to the side, and let that get good and hot because I don't want to heat it up while it's on my paper because I don't want to overheat my paper. And so when I bring it over, it should actually work fairly quickly. There we go. And now you can see that it is embossing my images. Get a beautiful shine. And guess what? I didn't have to change inks. I do all of that just with my hybrid inks. I did not have to change inks, and look how gorgeous they are. Look how pretty, nice and shiny. We have dimension. They're just stunning.
I
I'm telling
love
you,
that. That's
hybrid inks,
so
that's the
pretty.
way to go. What are you saying?
Oh, I said I love it. I think it's so so pretty. I actually, to be perfectly honest, did not know when I mean, you and I really didn't know a whole lot of what we each other were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know that you had heat embossed your wax seal, and I actually had heat embossed mine on my original card, and I didn't. It wasn't right. I loved it, but I did it in brass, and it just wasn't right. So I went ahead and went to something different. But I love that you did that over the blue. That is stunning. So now with my polka
So, so
dotted rain
pretty.
boots, I will also have embossed wax seals.
Oh, Karen says she has one of these 400-year-old anti-static pouches too. It ages every time I talk about it. Okay. But you know what? That's you know what? And I'm guessing that the company that made this is probably out of business because if they made products that you don't have to replenish for like 50 years, how do you stay in
Yes.
business? Isn't that
I
isn't that
I
why
actually
they
say that
they
all the time.
yeah, but isn't that why they made cars and refrigerators and to break now? Because it used to be you'd have a car for 20, 30 years, right? Way back in the day when they
Right?
were made of steel and okay, so I'm going to lay this die over, and the way we've designed this though too is that the die is actually going to cut through the color on the image. It is not going to leave a white edge around it because when you have a wax seal, you would not have a white edge around it, right? So we
I
wanted,
definitely love that part. I think that that
yep,
is genius. And I've saved mine
well,
from earlier so that I can be able to show people that same thing. I love
yeah,
that. Edge to edge.
it's careful and thoughtful design is what it is. And we aren't just trying to, crank out products. We want to produce products that are very thoughtfully and carefully designed so that you truly love them. Okay, so here we go. Here's my seals. I've got 3 of them. gorgeousness. All right, so I think I can start putting this baby together. My husband's wiping his brow. Whew. Okay, let's see what we got here. So I'm going to start building. Let me get my foam. I need foam and I need tape. So I'm going to put foam on the back of these 5 items right here. This is my foam right here. This is like a quarter of the size it used to be. Alan's on OT tonight. Yes, he is, darling. Karen. All right, so all I'm going to do for now, right now, is just take a few minutes to get foam on the back of all of these pieces. See if that's thin enough. I think it might be. I think so. There you go. And let's see. Here. And on here. Aw, Barbara says she hopes you got dinner tonight, Alan. I hope he did too. I do, I do, I do. You guys are so funny. Everybody always worries about Alan. Nobody's loving me. Oh,
Okay, I'm cleaning up my
okay,
space
we're
a
good.
little bit. I have stuff everywhere, but
Yes. Oh,
you would be proud of
if you
me.
could
I'm also
see what's
using my
not on
stamp
camera
cleaner.
here. What'd you say?
I said you would be proud. I am being diligent about using my stamp cleaner in the moment rather than in the morning.
Very good.
I know you are always on me about making sure I'm doing it, and I'm doing
Well,
a lot better.
you gotta clean up. You gotta clean up. Okay, so you notice we have the straight edge on here, which you can use it just like this if you want. Also, if you want, you can trim right along um, those deboss lines, and you can separate all of these images, and you can place them in, beautiful collage scenarios if you want, just different, layouts. You could actually cut all these apart on those lines, and then you could create more than one card with those pieces too, which is really fun. But I'm going to take it and I'm going to lay it right down over that collage backer, I'm sorry, the postage backer that I already cut. I'm going to put some more foam on that. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to put my blue topper on top of that is the back side, on top of my card base. So if you notice that postage collage, everything that it cuts is a little bit smaller than an A2, which is really nice for framing and layering. And I will tell you this too. We have more postage collage, a lot more coming in our next collection as well. And that is going to be shipping next month. So now I'm going to put some foam on the back of my postage piece. Welcome, Amber. Yep, you will be able to go back and watch this on the replay. Absolutely. Hello to Shelly. Shelly Parker is here too. I see your name. Welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and layer this up now, and you're going to see that little bit of frame of my card topper in blue. surrounding that postage. So all the colors are brought together. So we have that beautiful golden yellow, which is a lot like the dandelion. And then the blue that I put behind it is very much like Marina Madness. So all of those layers, those mats just tie all the colors in that stenciling together. It's absolutely lovely. But you can see that the die cuts everything just a little bit smaller. It's about 1/8 of an inch on all sides. So it's technically 1/4 of an inch smaller altogether, length and width, than an A2. So it fits beautifully and allows you to layer up. I'm going to go ahead and put these pieces in. So we have with love. I'm just going to pop like right around here. And I'm going to pop these beautiful little hearts over here just for balance. And then we're going to add in some extra little pieces. Look how cute that is. Super fun. A little bit black and white. I'm going to trim some of this, I think. I'm going to trim a little bit of my foam tape just so I can layer up over a tiny bit. I don't want to cover that up too much. I still want to be able to see that that's the boot and the legs. So you know what? I'm going to move these hearts over a bit. Carefully remove. All right, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not.
The thought was
It's all
there.
right. I don't want to. Well, I don't want to tear the paper, so we'll leave it where it is. Like I said, there's no right or wrong, right? I don't want to tear the paper. I mean, it looked like it was just not going to come up that easily, I should say. And I'm going to put this little right here. Pretty. So cute. There we go. That's card number 2. Where's card number 1? Can I get them both in here? Almost.
Let's see here. Let me pull. Which one did I do? Trying to figure out which one I did tonight and which one I did beforehand. Guess it doesn't matter. There we go.
Looks
Cute.
good. Looking
Oh
good.
my gosh.
Very nice.
Love it.
Very, very different. Same products, very different looks, different colors. Can you lower your rain one down a little bit? There you go.
There we go.
Looks awesome. Awesome.
I'm
They
looking on
really
my
are
computer
gorgeous.
and there's a delay.
No, I think they look beautiful. Different color schemes, same products, and they look the same. So you know what? I'm gonna go like this. So we have the same things like side by side. There you go. Look at that. So different,
Oh,
but the
I love
same
it.
exact products. Very nice. All right, very cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go full screen so that you can switch your camera.
And hopefully
Okay?
be right side up this time.
Yeah, why don't you switch to me, Ellen? Yep, yep, there we go. Hey, everybody. Jody Lynn says, I have to get these stamps and stencils. Will you be on HSN next week? I will. So for those of you that are wondering about that, I'm actually doing a sneak peek tomorrow night. So join us on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm going to have a sneak peek to show you everything there. So let me see. Are you with me? There she is. Let me bring you in.
I'm back.
There we go. Yay! This was so fun. Look at that. 2 hours. 2 hours. We made 4 cards in 2 hours.
Right?
Pretty doggone good.
Well,
So,
I know that most people are probably thinking, what the heck? Because you do an hour normally and try to keep it around an hour. So definitely want to say thank you for hanging out with us that long. That was a lot of fun. I normally have to craft by myself on live. So I'm glad I could have a friend this time.
It is fun. I love doing these, and I would love to keep doing these if you're up for it.
Oh,
Who wants
I
us to
love
keep
it.
doing these? Give us a give us a show of hands if you want us to keep doing these. Like
Well,
actually give us a hand.
I have a stack of cards sitting next to me, and I was wondering if I could show them off. Speaking of doing it again, I would like to maybe hopefully do this again with a brand new collection that
Absolutely.
we just got to play with. So you helped us at our trade show virtually, just like this, and we played with some brand new products. So I'm gonna, if you're okay with it, just share a couple
Yeah,
of
go
my
ahead.
samples that I got to make. So you guys will
Yep.
get to see some of the new stuff that Angie and her team has come up with. They are absolutely amazing. So if you, and you're going to have to help me with names because I don't have them in front of me. They're not memorized yet.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best. Like I said, 39 products.
I know. Well, and I have it right next to me. So if I have to, I can look over here. So I'll start with the easiest of the
Okay.
four cards that I have because I have the physical product because you were so kind to give us the actual
Mm.
product. I have to say, oh my goodness, these are scrumptious. So, so delicious. So this set here, let's see, let me get this. Where are we at? There we
There you
go.
go.
There we go.
Macarons.
This is just the cutest set. So this is a brand new set that we got to get as a freebie for the show, just for attending. But I think it's going to get used to do a little class and a make and take here in my store. I'm super excited about this one.
Yeah.
Adorable.
I love that. So, can I tell them something?
Yeah.
So the entire collection is actually called Daybreak. And
Yes.
so the inspiration for the entire collection is like every single morning when I get up, I sit down and I have 2 cups of tea in the morning. And my husband has his coffee and I have my tea and we talk and we plan out our day. What are you doing today? What are you doing today? What is your day and everything? And we literally look outside into the yard. The birds are feeding in the bird feeder. We have different little animals that are out there. And it's just, it's the whole thing kind of started from that. And so we call it Daybreak because a lot of the products are inspired by the, the what's to come in the day, the joy, the planning, all the things that happen in the day. So the critters in the yard, the macarons with a hot cup of coffee and a warm cup of tea. Um, there's just so many things. Flowers. There's some beautiful florals in it, and it's the flowers reaching up to the sun as the sun comes up, over the horizon, and the day is just beginning. So that's really, it's like the inspiration and the wonder of the coming day. So
And I love that,
proceed.
especially, as we're coming out of like winter and kind of gloomy days. Well, most of us are
Hmm.
still in the middle of winter. But spring and early morning. It's kind of all in one, encompassing the same
Hmm.
thing. It's just fresh and new and clean. And I love that. Love it so much. So the next two, honestly, I just adore. These are larger stamps. So normally we
Yeah.
get 4x6s, and I'm loving the oversize of these. So these are, and correct me if I'm wrong, but these are just stamp and stencil sets. So I sell everything in a bundle.
I'm not
That
sure
way we're
which
not
one you're gonna show. So
this one.
yes, that one's called In the Garden. Yeah. So
Oh,
yes, they
it
are they
is
are stamp and
stunning.
stencil. They're stamp and stencil. They're actually, that one is it's a new product line for us. They're 5x7 stamps, although we're showing that on like a 4.5x4.5 card.
Right.
So,
Oh my
and we're
goodness.
only
Sorry.
showing a portion of the image on that card, and you can see how large those florals are. So they're zoomed in, and it's like you took this photograph of this beautiful garden from the top, over the top of the flowers as they've opened up to the sun. So that is a 5x7 stamp, and we do have another one in the collection as well, stamps and stencils. But they're large, so you saw in that card that you can color just one floral, or you can do it where you're coloring nothing at all and just do it in black and white, and they're stunning. Or any color, you could stamp that in boysenberry blast, and it would be stunning, or greens, or whatever colors you want. but they're really large. They're not any particular real flower. They're artisan flowers, if you will, because they're just kind of, artistic, hand illustrated, large enough so that if you wanted to work with a brush, a paintbrush, and get some watercolor in there, you have a lot of space in there for coloring. They're just really, really fun and just beautiful to work with and craft with. And because they're larger, they're great for small projects like that one that you just
Hmm.
showed, but they're also great for larger 5x7, 6x6, 8x8s. If you want to use them on your scrapbook pages, they're fantastic. I mean, you could create a stunning background on a scrapbook page just by stamping those just in any color. They're just lovely, really
Well,
beautiful.
and I
And
think
if you don't
one
want
of
to
your
color at all, use the stencils.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and one of the
Yep.
samples that you showed us at the trade show in our booth was just using it as a background. You just stamped it kind of tone
Mm-hmm.
on tone, almost like a watermark, if you will.
Yeah.
And then I'm not hopefully not giving anything away that I'm not
No,
supposed to,
it's
but then
good.
layered up some postage. And I thought, oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
that is so cool just as a background. I don't, almost
Yeah, they're
in the sense
really,
of like an
really
embossing
versatile.
folder.
Yep. And
So,
because it's one large stamp, you're not stamping over again and over again and over again. They're really, really
right.
beautiful.
So the next one, oh, is so, so pretty. I mean, I think they're all pretty, but
Yeah.
how beautiful. And I love the fact that this is an oversized one as well. And we just used
That
a
is,
little tiny,
again, yeah, it is a 5x7 stamp set. That one actually comes with 3 sentiments as well. That stamp alone is roughly, it's about 5x5, 5.5 by 5.5, right around there. No, I think it's about 5x5 as I'm looking at it right now. But it's a lot larger than what's on that card. We're showing a portion of it there. It's called Fruit Tree, and we have it colored up as lemons on that card, but you can color it
right?
as limes or as oranges, however you want to use it. It's actually hanging fruit from the tree, and that is again inspired by the fact that I live in Michigan, and if I could have anything in my yard, it would be a citrus tree because but we can't have those in Michigan.
Well, hopefully when you come to visit this spring, my little lemon tree will have some lemons on it and you can live out your
Ooh.
dream and we'll see.
Yeah, because I would love to just step outside and, literally like pick an orange off the tree and then fresh squeeze some orange juice in the morning. So
Yeah. Yum.
I have these
So
little
the last
fantasies in my
one,
head.
right? The last one I think is super cool. So this last release, we have the vintage typewriter and it was
Hmm.
pressing, letter pressing. And
Hmm.
now we have a brand new vintage take, and I love it.
Yes.
Absolutely love this. But there's also something else on this card that's brand new as well, and that is these little postage layering pieces. So a little sneak peek of some new.
Yeah, and so two things there. If you want to, can you hold it up again? So when you look at
Yeah.
that postage, I
Oops.
just, if you remember, we just crafted with the mixed scallop. And it was so loved and still is that we decided to do a mixed postage. So it's sized the same as the mixed scallop and it has the same thought process behind it where every one of those postage edges is unique, which is really cool. So no two look alike. So it gives you a lot of really, really beautiful looks. You're not just layering the same, edge after edge. They're all different. So it gives you a lot of texture on your cards. And then
Definitely does.
that yeah, that gorgeous vintage telephone. Yeah, you had me at hello. I love vintage things like that, and that beautiful, beautiful vintage telephone. It's Victorian. It's just so gorgeous. Can
It
you imagine?
is.
There's probably a whole generation of people that are wondering what is that, and what is that twisty thing that's connecting
Right.
those two things together.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think you definitely nailed it with this new release. I love it. Was really hard to narrow down. I mean, obviously I didn't narrow down well because I ordered every single thing from my
Well,
store
yeah, I
because
was going to say you don't have to. I mean, don't feel like you have to do that. It's okay.
but I love it all.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's a
obviously,
really fun release, and we try to add something to every collection that we have. that every collection that we have that people really seem to love. So there's a lot of good stuff in it. So I'm excited about
Well, I think
it.
you did a great job. Obviously, I'm a little biased when it comes to your product, but my customers absolutely love it. And as long as they continue to fall in love with everything that you come out with, we will have everything that you come out with. So I know we've taken up a lot of everyone's
Yeah.
evening. So I have one last thing that I want to share and just thank you for. And that is something I just wanted to kind of put a plug in for Angie. She is so incredibly generous to independent retailers like my store. And I am a part of a group of stores across the United States and Canada. And now we have stores in Australia that are a part of our group. And it is called AIR, Alliance of Independent Retailers. And Angie, if you did not know, which if you shop locally, you know, but we have some exclusive, and when I say exclusive, it's exclusive just for the stores in this group that have chosen to participate. And I will tell you, I'm not going to go into the whole details of the program because we could be here for another 2 hours. But if you have any questions about it, please let me know, and I'm happy to help you. But it is a little club, if you will, that's called the Perfect Pairings. So these are products that Angie and her team have put together specifically and exclusively for our stores. We get samples. The last three that we have are all better press stencil and die sets. You also get a little exclusive class with Angie if you open up your stencil set. So I have to remind people to go into the stencils.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, they are just absolutely, it's so hard to see how beautiful they
Yeah,
are on
I
camera.
think if you turn it a little bit, because
Let's
you
see.
can't really see some of the pattern because of
Let
the
me see.
lights on the
Can you see it?
frame.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, did I think,
The
is it there?
the frame is actually a polka dot. What? Well, the frame is actually it's letter pressed. It's a polka dot frame,
Mm-hmm.
and that's actually letter pressed in a really pretty like shimmery gold.
It
It's
is.
really, really
It's
beautiful.
stunning.
Yeah.
But then
And
you
the
can use
nice
it
thing
without
about
the
that one too, well, the nice thing about that one too is that frame you can use with, I mean, that's across the board with any of your letter, with a lot of your
frame.
letterpress. It's just gorgeous. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I still
that's
get
okay.
excited about everything.
I was just gonna say you can use it without the frame. And I will tell you, the second this one came out, all of my ladies that already had the first two were so excited because their frame now, this frame, so this is just the press plate here,
Mhm.
press and foil. But this also will work with the other two that we have. And I didn't grab them, but we have a fall inspired one with beautiful pumpkins. And then we have a Christmas one or a holiday or, you know, more seasonal, depending on if you celebrate Christmas or not. But it's stunning, absolutely gorgeous. But this wreath, my goodness, border frame. It works with so many of your press plates, your stamps, everything. So I just wanted to kind of put a little plug in for you and tell you thank you so, so much. It
Oh,
is
thank
so
you.
appreciative.
Thank you. Thank you. I absolutely love working with the retail stores. I love working with people like you. It just makes it so fun. And being able to do something for the air group is just really nice and special as well. So yeah, thank you.
And there's
All
more
right,
still
we're
coming. More coming.
yes, there we are in the process of putting some more designs together. So yeah. Yep. Yay. Okay. We're getting sticky sweet at this point. It's not my strong suit.
That's okay. Well,
All right.
I am super excited. I saw the comments that people want another one. At least my ladies do. So I think we'll get that on the books for sure. So be looking for that.
Yep. All right, cool.
Thank you
Thank
everyone for
you.
joining us
Yes,
tonight.
thank you everybody. We still have a lot of people here. So thank you guys for spending this 2+ hours with us.
Right.
We've really enjoyed it. Leslie, always a pleasure. I absolutely love doing these side by. I prefer to do this side by side with you. I think it's a lot more fun. So
Oh, it definitely is. You know, I don't like doing my lives by myself. It's quite boring to talk to myself.
yeah.
I don't have an
All
Allen.
right. Yes. Yes. It is nice to have an Allen most of the time. Okay, everybody. Thank you
All right,
so,
thank
so,
you.
so, so much. All right. Have a great night, everybody.